I had this kid that came through in my last job that I was working with, and he's an amazing person, like just awesome kid, older adult or younger adult. But he struggled with like his home setting. Like he did not get along with his mom a lot of times. Like a good relationship between the two of them, but he just didn't. They would get in arguments and fights a lot of times. And he graduated through the program, did absolutely amazing. Went home, started getting in trouble again and having some issues with his mom. Ended up coming back through our program again. And I'm talking with this kid and like listening to like some of the situations that had recently happened with him and his mom, and like really trying to dive in deep. Like, okay, like what did she say, and how did you respond to that? How did that make you feel when she said that? And how did you feel when you responded? Just like kind of diving into the whole depth of the conversation and the emotional ranges that happened in the conversation. And as he's going through telling me some of this stuff, I'm like, yeah, well, like, I know, for instance, like, dealing with narcissists before in my past, in my jobs and stuff like that, like, typically narcissists will have, like, this trait and this trait and this trait. And he's kind of like, oh, yeah, like, yeah, that's kind of like what my mom does. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, so, like, I'm not diagnosing anybody by any means. Like, I'm not a psychologist or anything, but like if I were you, I would try approaching situations like this. Like when you call her and it's this argument that starts over the phone right away, instead of speaking your piece, I want you just to start asking about her and how her day was, how this made her feel in these situations, and just try to dive a little bit more into how she's feeling about the situation, and not so much how she's approaching the conversation with you and that's making you feel. And the kid tried it, and like he had been in multiple arguments with his mom, like the last like 3 calls that he had, and he tried it, and like conversation went fine, like absolutely great. And he came back and he's like, yeah, dude, like it worked, like that's amazing. And I go, you know what, it's like everybody's at a different level of emotional growth, right? And sometimes kids are at a higher level of emotional growth than their parents, a higher level of understanding of emotional needs than their parents. And having that understanding that you may be at a higher level emotionally than your parents really helps you understand the conversations and how they go with your parents. Age has absolutely nothing to do with your emotional growth. There are kids that I have met that are 16, 17 years old, had a higher level of emotional growth than I did when I was 25 years old. Like, it's absolutely amazing. And it's because they're very observant and they're very like empathetic and understanding of other people's emotions, right? But like that kid was absolutely freaking awesome. So but that just goes to show too, like I know that will help somebody, because I've had this similar situation happen through several different people that I've worked with, and giving them the same advice has helped them in these situations with their family or friends or however it is. So yeah.